haven't known. Native. I'm an entertainment journalist. You can catch me on all of your favorite red carpets, interviewing different celebrities and such. I am an LA native. Did I say that? Because I'm going to repeat that because that is a part of who I am, and it shapes my perspective on certain things, which we'll get into later. And also, I love sports. I'm a big sports fan, so we are going to be talking sports here on the show and the lifestyle and culture that surrounds it because we've seen a change, especially over the last 5 to 10 years, and how athletes are looked at, how they're viewed, their businesses outside of being on the court and on the field. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, and we are also going to naturally get into a couple of exclusive interviews. We'll have more on that coming up, but mostly it's about you, my VIPs. I picked RSVP because I want you to be here every night at 9 p.m. You know, when you get an invite to a great event, you have to RSVP to let them know that you are going to be in the building. So let us know by hitting the phone lines how you feel about the new show, what you're looking forward to. You can always hit us up there, 800, and I'll give you that number in a second. Sorry about that. But it is 800-920-1580. And also make sure you are following us everywhere on all the socials, okay, because that is important. We like social media, right? So we got to stay tapped in. You can follow me at Stiletto Jill. You can follow the station everywhere at KBLA 1580. Make sure you're doing that. And if you haven't, download the app and check us out on YouTube. I know it's a lot, but I know you can handle it. So buckle up. Are you ready? We're going to introduce the topics that we are going to be talking about later in the show. First up, the Titanic is back in the news. I don't know if you guys are aware, there are very expensive trips that you can take to view the Titanic wreckage, and there is some news about one that is currently trending in the headlines, and it's serious. It is really, really serious, so we're going to get into that. We're going to talk a little bit about Larsa Pippen. You know, she is Scottie Pippen of the Michael Jordan Bulls era. She is his ex-wife. Well, they're actually going through a divorce, so they are separated. But something has happened with their divorce proceedings that I think is significant, and we're going to look at it and ask a question about that, what's going on with that. We're going to talk about Megan Good and Jonathan Majors. They're a new couple on the scene. Jonathan went to court today. We're going to get into a little bit about that and Megan's role in all of this. And lastly, well, not lastly, I'm just talking about the first hour because I think that's a lot. And we're only into the first hour. We're getting ready. We're going to talk a little sports. So, you know, there's some athletes that are in the headlines, younger athletes, John Morant, Zion Williamson. They have some issues and problems, and we're going to talk a little bit about young athletes and the things that they're going through. So I want you to make sure that you are locked in when we come forward. We're also going to have Trent the Artist with us, KBLA Talk 1580. Make sure you're ready.
Infusing us into fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
If your Medi-Cal is ending, Cover California is here to help. Cover California is a service from the state that helps you get affordable health insurance. In many cases, at no cost to you, just like with Medi-Cal. We have quality health plans, and we'll help you every step of the way to get the one that works for you and your family. So, if you're no longer eligible for Medi-Cal, check out Cover California. We'll keep you covered. Learn more at coveredca.com.
If you're a business owner or lead a nonprofit that has between 26 and 49 employees and you paid COVID sick leave in 2021 or 22, you may qualify for reimbursement through a state grant program administered by the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. Learn more at covidpaidsick.com.
Leroy, 71's backed up. What's your 20? Over.
Olivia needs more drivers for her trucking company to go the extra mile.
Got 3 more stops to make.
She wants to hitch a team to drive business forward.
Lots of double nickels on the 169. You know what I'm over? This driver shortage.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Men, you fought hard for the role that you play in your children's lives. This Father's Day, Cordell & Cordell celebrates you the entire month of June. Join us every Friday for our live webinar series, Father's Fridays. There you'll receive much useful information from our panel of speakers. To register, go to CordellCordell.com/Father's Day.
1455 Frazee Road, Suite 1050, San Diego, California, 92108. CordellCordell.com.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take. And when I left the oven on, we decided together that it was time to see a doctor and make a plan. Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, it's Jill Munroe, and you are checking out RSVP with Jill Munroe, a new show here on KBLA Talk 1580. And as I mentioned, the YouTube chat is live, and there are already people in there. You guys are keeping it lit. Thank you for the congratulations and shout-outs. I see DBlack909 saying, welcome to the pilot episode of RSVP. It's actually episode 1, but I'll take it. Let's see, Pretty Brown Mimi, she always shouts me out when I'm on the Raw Report with Robin Ayers, so thank you for acknowledging me and shouting me out. I hope you guys will take the time to stick and stay and enjoy the ride. But we have our first guest of RSVP. His name is Trent Jackson, a.k.a. Trent the Artist. Trent is a podcaster extraordinaire and author. His podcast, In the Mix with Trent, is a conversation that you need to have from your Keep It Real friend.
Absolutely.
Trent keeps it all the way 100, and he's joining us tonight to run down these hot topics and tell us all about his podcast and what inspired him to become a writer, and we're going to get into all of his story in a minute. But first up, we got to get into it. First up, I just want to know, okay, so there is a tourist attraction, so to speak, but for the very rich, right? $250,000 a trip, and you go on this submarine. And no lie, the controller of the submarine is literally like a video game controller, but you pay $250,000, and it takes exploratory trips down to the wreckage, which is of the Titanic, which is 12,500 feet undersea, about almost 2.5 miles undersea, right? So the first question is that something that you would be interested in doing?
First of all, you know that is not for us. That is designed for the Caucasian allies only. We ain't doing that.
No?
Black folks is not about to get in a video game summer. I mean, Teslas is enough. That's as close as we're going to get to a remote control anything. That, you know, we're not getting in that.
You're not curious?
Not at all. I will watch it on the Discovery Channel, and we'll leave it there. And first, that's a graveyard. We're not dealing with graveyards.
I mean, that's a great point. And kind of along those lines, the submarine is now lost. It's lost contact with the station.
With the spirits
no, not with the spirits. Not with the spirits. It's lost contact with the station, and they aren't sure where it is. There's several things that could have happened. One of the design features that they talked about was that the submarine could actually, if conditions were okay, go into the hull of the Titanic and let them see. Don't know if that happened, but
you want to drive right into the morgue and just
listen, $250,000 it costs. These people are obviously
have way too much money and way too much time on their hands.
Is that what it is? They have too much going on.
Too much money, and you just don't have. You run out of stuff to do, so now you want to go to the graveyard under the water.
Well, a massive search and rescue exploration is underway right now. There are 6 people on this trip, I guess.
Yep.
Sounds like Gilligan's Island 3-hour tour. They might, be off. I don't want to make light of it, but it's just an interesting situation. It's an 8-day trip, and it does involve
8 days to go to the bottom of the ocean?
I mean, I think they come back up sometime, but it's pretty far down. So it's exploratory. They're having a good time,
Not.
Well, not right now.
Not in a minivan.
Not right now.
Under the water.
Because right now they're trapped, and they have about 24 hours left of air, and there still has been no communication. So, what is something that you would pay $250,000 to experience?
A brand new house.
Okay.
Some income property. You know what you could do with $250,000? You can go to Detroit right now and buy the whole block for $250,000 right now. That is a better investment and a better spend of money than playing with some spirits under the water.
It is, and you know how we are.
You can go snorkeling in the Bahamas with some sea creatures right now for $250,000 for the whole week.
I have done that. You can do much less than that, and you feed the fish, and they come to you like puppies. It's very nice.
And survive. And
survive.
And they will know where you are.
So we don't know. Our prayers are obviously to those that are entrapped in there.
For sure.
There's a CEO of a company. I can't remember the name of the company at the time.
One of the guys on there already. He's already been to the moon, or has been in orbit out of space. So this is like his second exploration. It's like so
he's a thrill junkie.
So the space wasn't enough for him. He wanted more. He's got too much money.
Listen, one of his
what are his charities? That's what I'm curious about.
Well, we'll find out. Listen. It's not that right now it's getting them to safety, okay? But the stepson, which I was trying to share with you, went to a Blink-182 concert. He said that he feels that his stepfather would not mind him in this moment going and enjoying that concert. So, we all deal with grief in a different way. I hope that everything is okay.
Honestly, I do hope that they're found, because I'm curious to know, what their survivors' experiences and, what happened, at that, how are you using a bathroom? I have questions, and I want them to survive so they can come back and answer. Do you know what type of opera they could milk this for $200? They can get all their money back, a refund for this trip.
Well,
just by milking all the interview opportunities.
Maybe.
Survive.
Listen, speaking of interesting experiences and those for the very, very wealthy, in Paris earlier today, Pharrell Williams made his debut for Louis Vuitton as their creative director. Now, this fashion show was naturally attended by the creme de la creme.
Right.
Beyonce and Jay-Z showed up and showed out. Rihanna and A$AP Rocky were there. Zendaya in the building. And LeBron James and Savannah, Tyler, the Creator. Everybody was there, front row. And, Pharrell had the clips. He had Pusha T playing at a high-stakes fashion show. And how do you feel? We've seen hip-hop and fashion in these different areas for quite a while now. But how do you feel seeing it again played out in such luxe fashion, where it's the hot ticket? Obviously, hip-hop is still dominant, but that's a conversation for a little later about the things that are happening.
I like Louis Vuitton. I like their pieces. I looked at some of the stuff earlier. Everyone looks great, like a fun time. I'm happy for Pharrell, and maybe I'll get a couple pieces if I have enough money one day or soon.
Maybe. Okay. So, and also in very.
And Zendaya looks really nice. I like her outfit, and I like this outfit. I don't even know this guy's name. Who is this?
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah,
but he looks great.
He looks nice. That's a nice little summer
Pharrell
outfit.
has a lot of style. We know he's had several innovative brands throughout the years, so him taking over for Virgil is a big deal, and we are waiting to see how it comes out. There's lots of interesting accessories with the line. We know that Rihanna was one of his models in one of the ad pieces, a pregnant and glowing Rihanna, and she and A$AP Rocky were there too. They arrived late. We know Rihanna has a tardy problem, but she's a diva.
I get it.
Oh.
She's a Pisces.
You were on time today, though.
I was 2 minutes late.
Okay.
But I'm also, I'm also working on my time management skills.
As you should.
As I should.
Well, speaking of very rich things that were taking place in Paris, I mentioned LeBron James was there with his wife Savannah, but you know who also was there?
He looked good in his all black.
He did look good. Listen, we got fashion going on, but not more importantly, but an interesting aspect to it is that Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors was also there. And Draymond and LeBron have a friendship, right? They share the same agent, Rich Paul, Clutch Sports. Obviously, for LeBron, that's his childhood friend.
Yep.
Draymond has recently come in the fold over the past couple of the years, and we know Draymond was very complimentary of LeBron, as he should be. LeBron is considered some people's GOAT, one of the GOATs, at least the GOAT of his era. Another conversation for another day. But the two got together, and then the next day, Draymond announced that he's opting out of his contract. He has a player option with the Warriors, $27 million he's opting out of. Now, some people are speculating that Draymond would like to get down to L.A. He's obviously vacationing with LeBron. He has a house here in the L.A. area. His wife, Hazel, is an actress. She's appeared on several shows, so wouldn't be a bad position for them to be in. But some say he's just making room to explore his options, considering what also happened last season at the top of the season with Jordan Poole. Obviously, they didn't have a favorable result. I know sports isn't your thing, but you are the keep it real friend. So I want to know, do you think LeBron is over there whispering in Draymond's ear, kind of giving him some guidance, let's say? Or do you think it's just friends hanging out and there is no coincidence in the timing of Draymond's announcement and the fact that he was on vacation?
You never know what goes on in their friendship. Here's the thing. I do not talk about people who throw hands. Draymond has those hands, so I won't speak too much on, what he's got going on over there. Let's just hope it's a good thing. But also, two, once you've done something for a long period of time and you've reached your milestones, you've done this, you've done that, what else can you possibly do but explore other options? So let's just, he might want to just, take some time and do something else before he ages out.
See, and that's a good point because this will be, as we're coming up on, probably his last contract, and here's the thing. We saw in the playoffs, Golden State is still Golden State. They still have some incredible pieces, but there's some cracks in the armor, right?
For sure.
So I would like to know if anybody in the chat has an opinion on Draymond coming to the LA Lakers, if they think that would be a good move for the Lakers. I have my personal thoughts. Andy, do you have thoughts? Because I know you're a Laker fan.
I got some thoughts. 100% negative.
Thank you. I agree.
He's just too much of a head case for me, in my opinion. And quite frankly, I think the Lakers need more of a playmaker/facilitator, more so than they need an enforcer, so to speak. I think LeBron is big enough, burly enough to be that enforcer. So, Draymond, I'm good.
I don't think that he brings anything to the package. But speaking of, there's also some conversation around another one of LeBron's friends, homies, that, he was hanging out with that was recently traded and expected to be bought out of his contract. Chris Paul was traded from the Phoenix Suns for Bradley Beal and some pieces. So he's now a Washington Wizard.
To my old home city.
To your old home city.
Yeah.
That's right. DC Dreams. I'm sure you could give him some great recommendations, but I don't think he's staying.
Yeah.
So CP3 is another one. Also has a home here in Los Angeles. Played for the Clippers for many years. LeBron's wife, Savannah, and Chris's wife, Jada. Friends.
Yes.
Good friends. CP3 and King James, good friends. But is that, again, the right move for the Lakers?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
I don't think so either. I think that we need some youthful talent, some talent that they can grow while they are setting the stage. You know, we've seen what young talent can get in there and do when they're focused. We see what Rui Hachimura did this season in the playoffs. We saw what D'Lo was doing before at least before the last round, you know. A little skittish. I don't think that he will be back with us, but I do wish him well. You know, I do wish him well. He put us in position. The Lakers, when you think about the start of the season and where the Lakers ended up, it is obviously much further. Austin Reeves, let's talk about Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves has that dog in him. He wasn't scared of anybody. He made his presence known, and he signed himself up to get money. So, you know, there's a lot of ways that this can play out. We wanted to play out with the Lakers playing high-level basketball and not giving us that scare. But speaking of big money and big dollars, Larsa Pippen. You familiar with Larsa?
Aren't we all? And we don't want to be. That's the thing. This is not our business.
Are you sure?
Everybody knows her. Everybody.
I mean, she was on Real Housewives of Miami.
Michael Jordan's son knows her. Everyone knows
Michael Jordan's son and she
well
are
known.
very much in a relationship that they say is thriving.
Is it?
That's what they say. They look very happy. I think that they are starting
all
a podcast
relationships
together.
are happy in the beginning.
Well, you know, that's where we are.
And
so
then
that's
you start
where we
looking
have to be.
exhausted and tired.
Listen, right now we are in the happy and thriving stage, so that's what we're going to take, right?
It's another money grab.
I mean, maybe they are both, you know.
She's looking for a strong back.
Maybe he's
and
looking to irritate his dad. I don't know.
Of course.
We'll have to see what happens with that.
Of course.
However,
it's a trolling circle. Everyone's just trolling each other.
That's what you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not real love?
Absolutely not.
It's not even real love?
This is what happens when you have just too much money and you get bored. See, they don't go on submarines. They just sit around and harass each other and troll each other.
Well,
we see it on the Housewives all the time.
We do see it on the Housewives. Pretty Brown Mimi says, I think Draymond should stay with Golden State. The Lakers aren't that great right now. Hey, Mimi. Hey. Watch that. We made it almost to we made it to the Western Conference Finals. What are you talking about? We are immaculate. We are fantastic. We got further than Golden State. We just need a couple of little clicks, a couple of little tweaks there, and we'll be okay. Okay, so back to Larsa. We know why, because it's a topic and it's being talked about. So Larsa and Scotty are still going through their divorce. Of course, they are, in discussion, we shall say, about the assets. And Larsa has been awarded half of Scottie Pippen's pension. So his NBA pension that he worked hard for. I mean, she was there for part of it. They were married while he was actively playing in a Chicago Bull. I know that Larsa was a student when they met. I'm not sure if she has ever had an extensive career.
I was going to say, was she even born when he was playing?
Yes, they were married. She was young. Well, she was younger, right? She was a student, and they got together, and she devoted her life completely to him, per her, and now she, part of the reason why she's wilding out just a bit is because she wants to, kind of recapture some of the things that she's missing out on. We'll put a pin in that part.
This is nothing more than a money grab. She needs a younger upgrade.
A younger upgrade?
Yeah, and she just stayed within the circle.
But Marcus is young.
She stayed within the circle.
I mean, here's the thing. She tried other athletes that didn't work out so well. Malik Beasley. I mean, if you're talking about an athlete, it's going to be in the circle. Malik Beasley ended up on the team with her son on the Lakers. We don't know if anything even came of that. Probably wasn't spoken about. But, these things happen. I just wonder if Larsa has her own pension, well, probably not a pension. Those don't exist anymore. 401k, Roth IRA. Has she set anything aside for herself? And did she throughout the course of the marriage?
She doesn't seem like the type to think that far ahead. She just seems like she's in it for the pictures and the purses.
Well, I mean, that's been what kind of she's known for the past 25, almost 30 years at this point.
So, I mean, we can just pull a Kim Zolciak, sell some of the bags, sell some of the wigs, and you'll be fine.
I mean, I think she's doing that, but...
Yeah, she'll be all right.
And she'll be all right.
Nothing wrong with a little hard work. We've all had to do it.
So, listen, they have been separated officially since 2016. When we come forward, we're going to have more conversation about
What have they been doing for 7 years?
What have they been doing for 7 years? Trying to work out the financial details.
I can't.
So we'll get into more of that later. But let's talk about in the mix with Trent, the Keep It Real.
I didn't know that I was
friend.
on the hot seat all of a sudden.
You are in the hot seat. Tell me a little bit about the podcast and how you became known as the Keep It Real friend.
Man, In the Mix with Trent is a very, very wild ride. It's chaos, it's excitement, it is everything that you know what it is. The perfect analogy for it is, when you get into some trouble at the house or something, or some real stuff happens at the house growing up, everybody gathers around the kitchen, right? And you have this conversation at the kitchen table, right? Mm-hmm. All this stuff goes where we keep it real. So that's what my show is basically about. It is the conversation that you have at the kitchen table about all the stuff that you don't want to get out, that you want to get out, that you should be talking about, that you don't want to talk about, that we talk about. So that's what it's about.
So,
and some.
Would a conversation be in order for all of the madness that kind of jumped off on Juneteenth yesterday?
You know what? I kind of swerved and avoided that. I was partnering with the upper echelon of the constituency, so I did a nice walkthrough through the Mert and said a few ways and recognized right away that it was not my crowd. It was a lot younger than I had. Well, the thing I liked about it was it expanded. It was bigger than it usually is. So it's typically just central to the Mert Park, but it expanded. The Pizza Hut. There's people off on the roof and. Crenshaw Boulevard, it was decked out. It was like an early taste of soul is what I compared it to, size-wise. So I had a good time. I love when the blacks get together. It was great. I have no complaints.
You were partying with the upper echelon.
Yes.
You were at the KBLA.
I was. Thank you for the
anniversary party, making it happen. Well, when we come forward, we're going to have more on our trending topics. We're going to talk more with our Keep It Real friend because, as you can see, he is not shy with his opinions. And we are teeing up some more topics to get to. We're also going to get into some Juneteenth talk about what you did for celebrations, like playlists, things like that. I want to hear from you how you celebrated and what you think you'll be incorporating as far as a new tradition, because this is a fairly new holiday.
Yep.
And we will also be getting into a little bit of educational matters about California and Texas. All that when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. Stay set.
I'm in the man, so as I land, just know I roll with them goons. In case you start acting familiar, this kind of love, big business, whole slab. So you can get no higher than this. No, love don't get no higher than this. No.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network.
I'm very proud of my son.
That's all President Biden said in response to shouted questions from reporters ahead of a meeting on artificial intelligence in San Francisco. The comment comes as Hunter Biden has struck a deal with federal prosecutors to plead guilty to 2 tax misdemeanors and to resolve a felony gun charge. As part of the agreement, the Justice Department has agreed to recommend a sentence of probation. Meantime, the New York Times reports industry leaders warned OceanGate about potential issues with its Titanic expeditions. The newspaper obtained a letter from 2018 that warned OceanGate its experimental approach with its vessel could lead to catastrophic outcomes. One of the company's submersibles has been missing since Sunday with 5 people on board. And the people who guaranteed Congressman George Santos' $500,000 bond in his criminal fraud case will have their identities revealed. I'm Julius White on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Pool season is here, but open roles got you underwater? Check out Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I don't believe it.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and
on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580. By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
The pandemic may be over, but many Angelinos could be at risk of losing the place they call home. It's important to know your rights as a residential renter in the city of LA. Did you know eviction protection still exists for unpaid COVID-19 rental debt that was due before March 31st, 2023? And that you have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice, also known as an unlawful detainer. Learn more about your rental rights at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
Another exciting event hosted by Malik Books, Saturday, June 24th at 2 p.m., Westfield Culver City Mall. Next up, the newly published author Aisha Harris, co-host and critic for the hit NPR podcast, Pop Culture Happy Hour. Hot off the press, wannabe reckonings with pop culture that shapes me by Aisha Harris. Join us for discussion and book signing, moderated by Erica Kendrick, Saturday, June 24th at 2 p.m., Malik Books at Westfield Culver City Mall. Wannabe is part memoir, part critical exercise, a blend of personal experiences growing up and consuming pop culture with a thoughtful examination of issues and conundrums audiences face every day. Interracial friendships, obsessive fandom, nostalgia, and intergenerational trauma. See you at the next book signing at Malik Books. That's MalikBooks.com again. MalikBooks.com.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for education as a right, not a privilege. Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science is a private, non-profit, community-founded, student-centered university committed to cultivating diverse health profession leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations. CDU does this through outstanding education, clinical service, and community engagement. Recently, Charles Drew University made history by opening only the 5th medical school at an historically Black university. Congratulations, South LA. Congratulations to the Dean of the medical school, Dr. Deborah Proto-Stiff. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million in annual economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods. To apply for medical school, get more information, or sign your child up for the Junior Doctors Saturday School program, visit cdrewu.edu. That's cdrewu.edu. At KBLA, we are dedicated to equity in education and ending healthcare apartheid, and we don't back down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk.
She take my money when I'm in need. Yes, it's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger way over town that digs on me.
So, this song is being played in honor of Larsa Pippen.
Absolutely.
However, I should go on the record and say, I don't always think that the gold digging approach is necessarily bad. That's a conversation for another day. I'll tell you why. It is because it requires some nuance.
The lyrics in this song, I believe he said, when he get on, he leave you for.
Right.
So
that is why sometimes
it's a money grab.
You know,
it's a money grab.
But Scotty didn't do that. In theory, she would be what he got when he got on.
It was a long-term plan. She planned this out from a long time ago.
So you saying she's been planning this since she was like 23 years old?
That's how they're raised, though.
Okay. Well, since we were talking about very rich business tonight in amongst the conversations, I want to stop. We mentioned Chris Paul, and Chris Paul was being traded to the Washington Wizards. We don't think that we'll see him there. But Washington, knowing they traded away their superstar, Bradley Beal, and this is only a couple of years after they traded away their other superstar, John Wall, the two kind of weren't really meshing together. So they're kind of left with pieces. Maybe some compelling pieces, but pieces, you know. So that means that marketing has to go into overdrive because this is the NBA, and what are we trying to do? We fill up those seats and get viewers' eyes on the game, right? So the Wizards have come up with a marketing alternative that they think is going to bring the fans in, and it involves a new seating option for fans. Okay. So you ready? For $128,000 for the year, you and 4 to 6 of your friends can get served a 5-course meal in the courtside loft and watch a Washington Wizards game.
Can I say something?
41 games a year.
I've experienced that before without that price tag. It's not all that.
Somebody has to pay for it, though.
I was grateful for the experience, trust me. But at that arena, it's not all that.
I mean, but here's the thing. The in-game experience is becoming more and more important because most fans, like you, that price is obviously out of control, but think about this as far as fans. You have a 60-inch television screen at home, right? Your own snacks, your own seat. Do you really want to go and be close to the action since you see everything through a third screen anyway?
In Washington, D.C., yes, because it's such a conservative, boring city. They need some type of excitement to break up the monotony of the gray and black suits all week. So that is it, and they have the money to spend on that. So it makes sense. As a person who lived in D.C. and knows how the city works and has been to the arena, sure, it's perfect for that. They're boring. They want the L.A. experience. They can't have it. They need something to spice up the city. I guess that's it. They get tired of looking at Joe all day.
I mean, listen, sports in D.C., they're not a winning city at this point like a city like, say, L.A., who has multiple championships that have rolled through in the last couple of years, but they do have a lot of entertainment options, and I think as we see, more teams expand, more entertainment options, more ways to have an experience, because I think what we're seeing when we've looked at the economy and the things that people are spending money on, they're not buying things as much anymore, but what they are paying for is experiences.
Yes.
So like $128,000 a year, loft seats at the Washington Wizards game, or an 8-day trip in a tiny submarine.
Never.
For $250,000.
Never.
I mean, I think that there are some adventurous black people that would try it.
Certainly there would, but not in that type. There would have to be some type of it's not. First of all, it's not going to be a remote control vessel. They're going to be in an actual submarine or something that they can. It's a no for me. I'm not even trying to come up with a logical, because I can't do it. Even if I had the money to do it, I'm not going to the bottom of the ocean. I done been to 50,000 leagues below the sea before. I don't need to do it again. Okay. No, I'm cool. I think most of black people are cool on that. So I did a survey of my friends today, and we're all saying no.
Well, we're doing a survey because that is my good question of the night.
Chat people, I see you guys in the chat. Tell me no. It's a no. No one is doing this.
So, Trent's question is different from my good question. You can answer them both. My good question is, how much would you pay for a once-in-a-lifetime experience? What do you think the dollar amount is for a once-in-a-lifetime experience? You know?
What type of once in a lifetime
Whatever
experience
you
are we talking
want.
about?
If someone said, I can give you the best experience of a lifetime that you want, what's the dollar amount that you would pay for it?
I am the wrong person to ask this. Let's turn this over to the audience because I have had a lot of great, phenomenal experiences that you can't put a price tag on. So I'm a little bit biased in this area.
You're a little bit biased?
I've had some phenomenal experiences, you know, from meeting celebrities, just being backstage, befriending like I've had some once-in-a-lifetime experiences that you can't put a price tag on. Actually, one of them is in the back behind me, you know, so you can't put a price tag on that. So I'm the wrong person to ask.
You're the wrong person to ask.
Got to ask somebody in the chat.
I don't think I have a price tag either. I don't know what experience like that I just have to have that I pay like thousands and thousands and thousands upon dollars. I can't think of one right now. I mean, I think vacation, but I can't imagine a vacation for $100,000 yet. I mean, maybe if you got one of those supermax yachts.
I can yes, a yacht in the Mediterranean. That's $100,000 right there.
I mean, you could go for a little less than that.
No, you got to go all the way.
I mean, if you can go all the way on a super yacht, but I went to Croatia. I took a trip to Croatia for Yacht Week, 2 weeks. We were on like this crazy sailboat, and we sailed around the Asiatic Sea, that's what it's called, because it's a sea, not an ocean. You have to differentiate. And it was a fun time. It didn't cost that much, but it was pretty adventurous. You know, jumped off into the ocean.
And you came back up, right?
I did come back up. And there was no little creatures down there that I saw.
Or spirits, cemeteries. Right.
Well, the jury is out on that. We don't know what's down there or what's happened. We don't know what seas where across.
That's a little deeper. You didn't go there.
It is a little deeper. We're not talking about that. But I want to go back to a minute since we're talking about rich things. One thing that I forgot to mention is that LeBron James, Draymond Green, and Anthony Davis are all investors in LeBron's tequila brand, Lobos 1707, right? So not only are they friends, not only do they share an agent, they're all business partners.
That's how it should be, right?
That is how it should be. You want to, if you can spread some information to your friend and help your friend get on, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't
right? If that is within your ability to do so, and it's a great situation for everybody.
People that pour into you.
But I'm saying, wouldn't they want to continue that business relationship? Maybe, you know, it's working so well.
In other avenues, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Meaning on the court, I'm sure that.
Oh, come on, no, that's not it.
I do not want it, but it's a conversation.
That will probably be the end of their friendships too, because you know they're all separate and distant, and they've got their space. But seeing somebody that up close every day that you are already, it's problematic.
Is it?
Yeah, sometimes it can be.
Sometimes I can get that. You could get burned out if you don't know how to respect boundaries and personal space.
And then, you know, some people, they're just used to operating at a distance. They don't know how to act when they come together.
Okay.
Might be a little garbage fire.
Well.
Especially with those hands.
You keep talking about
that man is temperamental.
Who?
Draymond Green.
Temperamental?
He likes to fight.
Does he like to fight or does he like to argue? Because there's a difference.
Yeah, and then sometimes they both go hand in hand, because if somebody's talking too much, it's just like you talking 1 second and then boom, right in the chest, and it's like, what happened? We were just talking a second ago.
Well, when we come
forward, if you don't believe me, ask Jordan Poole.
And on that note, when we come forward, we're going to get into some more trending topics. We're going to talk more with our Keep It Real friend, Trent the Artist. You are listening to RSVP
there was a video
with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tina Turner's hometown to build a statue in her honor. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. On May 24, news spread of the death of the queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner, who died at 83 years old. Turner's representatives say she died of natural causes after long illness. The mayor of Tina's hometown has since revealed plans to build a statue in honor of Turner. Bill Rawls Jr., mayor of Brownsville, reveals his hope to have the sculpture placed in Heritage Park near the high school Tina attended as a teenager. She was born in the same town in 1939. Rest in peace to the queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life and your choices with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age, but there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemap.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action is the youth component of the Impactful CBO, known as the Community Coalition. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action has chapters at almost every South LA high school. Say Yeah, as they are properly known, is located at 80th and Vermont, but serves young people all over South LA. Under the COCO umbrella, they train youth organizers, help underserved scholars prepare for college, and work with students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCES scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit cocsouthla.org. cocsouthla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Here are 3 ways to commemorate Juneteenth from AARP. 1. Learn the full history. Juneteenth was the end of slavery, but there's more. Begin by learning the whole story. 2. Celebrate. Celebrating our freedom should be a party with a purpose, with family, friends, fellowship, and, oh yeah, food. 3. Support black-owned business. In 1865, we had little to nothing, but as a people, we've been richly blessed. Express your gratitude by supporting our black-owned businesses.
What would you call a joy that is as solemn as it is sweet and knows no bounds? A joy that's beautifully rooted in soul and resilience. This is Black Joy, a joy that reflects pride and honor despite every challenge. AARP believes the power of Black joy is limitless, and we celebrate this joy supreme. Join us in celebrating Black joy at aarp.org/blackcommunity.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands for Unity and Healing. African Focus Incorporated is a nonprofit organization based in California that focuses on the growth and well-being of Africans all around the world. Their mission is to promote the well-being of people of African descent through knowledge and appreciation of one another by building a bridge of love and understanding. African Focus Incorporated strives for cultural, educational, and economic growth. They're the organization behind the African Family Induction Ceremony, African Goodwill Awards, African Focus Trailblazer Tours, African Dance Competition, and Showcase Los Angeles, Family Day, Good News Windows Microfinance Project, and more. To volunteer, travel with African Focus, or to attend one of their community building events, please call 310-676-7730. That's 310-676-7300. Or visit AfricanFocus.org. This is a diaspora-wide community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
So thank you for checking out RSVP with Jill Munroe. It is a new show here on KBLA Talk 1580 with myself as host. I hope you are enjoying the conversation. If you are, you can always hit us up on the phone lines because we would love to hear your commentary and get us all excited about what you think about the show. You can also hit us up in the chat on YouTube because we see you guys there. You're live. You are full of conversation talking about prenups and how far and who should and why should. And we love that conversation. You know, you guys are getting it in. And also, there is an app. There is a KBLA app that you can download. Take us with you. It's with you all the time. There is even a function on there for you to leave a message for your favorite show host or all of them. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you think. Give us congrats on the station for 2 years, putting it down, holding it down here for you. We appreciate that. But we're going to get back into these trending topics and our sports bag with Trent the artist, our Keep It Real friend. So, Trent, let me ask you this really quick. What has been the most keep it real conversation you've ever had to have?
Telling a friend that they're exhausting and I don't want to be friends with them anymore.
I mean, how do you approach that?
Just like I said, you're exhausting me. I've had enough of you. Don't call me for a few months, and if that doesn't work, stop calling me, period.
No setup, no.
No, go right into it.
Why, though? What made
you
reach that point?
You know why? Because people know what they're doing, number one. And number two, you give people chances. It's always a build-up. You never just pop right off. It's always a you give them 1-2 chances. Like, you know what? You give them a light warning. Like, I don't like this. And they keep doing it. And then you got to pop off and let them demonstration. Don't try it at home.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
And what was their response?
That varies. Sometimes they don't take no for an answer, and then you've got to get real disrespectful.
Why disrespectful? This is someone that used to be a friend to you.
But they're not anymore.
That quickly.
Well, here's the thing. I'll give you a recent example of something that happened a couple of summers back. I don't even know the timeline on this anymore, but I was a part of a friendship group. I've talked about this on my show before, so I hope this doesn't come back to bite me. But I had a friend, and within this group, he decided that he wanted to go and mess with his best friend's wife.
Okay.
And was bragging about it around town, a known fact. So I had to have a conversation about the way that he was moving foul. And he thought it was, nice and cute and, think he's a man around town. And, yeah, it got pretty disgusting. I made some threats and got a little disrespectful, and we're not friends anymore.
Violence and threats, okay.
Well, sometimes you have to go there when people are being disrespectful.
By any means necessary.
Absolutely.
I heard that.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, before we came forward, we were discussing working relationships.
That went so left.
Listen, we had to move on from the violence.
That's how it goes on my show sometimes. So you never know what you're asking.
And that's that's why you are the Keep It Real friend, and that's why the mix is intense, right?
Sometimes it is.
Okay. So we talked about working. We talked about maybe Draymond, Chris Paul, LeBron all want to link up, maybe not. But one former connection, not couple in the real sense, but couple in the sense of a working relationship. Stephen A. Smith was recently asked if he would ever link back up with Skip Bayless. They obviously spent many years together on First Take. Skip is now a solo act. We don't know what's going to happen to him because Shannon Sharp, they had some issues earlier in the season, and Shannon opted to negotiate a buyout of his contract. We're not sure where Shannon is going to land, but he's going to land someplace. Stephen A. said he would love to have him at ESPN. I can't really see that happening, but it brought up the conversation. Stephen A. was a guest on Cameron and Mace. They have a sports show called It Is What It Is, right? So Stephen A. went on there, and they had this conversation because Cam wanted to know why or why not Stephen A. would ever work with Skip again. And so Stephen A.'s answer was no, but his reason is what I want to get into. What he said is that they did it, they made that magic, but now he has moved into a whole other area. He has a production company, he's bringing up young talent underneath him, so it's not beneficial, even though they had magic and they created all of these things and all of these new shows and the different things that have evolved from that relationship are fruit of the tree, but he said he wouldn't want to, you couldn't recreate that relationship and bring it back. So are there certain relationships, especially work ones, that you just think that, we did our thing, but that was the time, and what is that determining factor for you? A successful one. I'm not talking about anything with drama or bad stuff. I'm talking about something that was working well, may have run its course, and you're thinking about spinning the block like, we do with lots of things. What would make you say, nope, shut it down?
Wow. I think the number one thing for me in any situation is loyalty. And for me, loyalty looks different for different people, but loyalty for me ultimately boils down to respect. Do you respect me? And if there's no respect there, then I can't work with you. Okay,
but let me ask you this. Do you think that there's a point that, let's say, it was a respectful relationship? It's not that there were problems with it. It just, kind of ran its course. Do you think that it's okay with leaving that where it is? The past is sort of the past, putting a pin in it and never looking back. Do you think that we always have to spin the block because something was good, something was monetarily beneficial for us?
You don't have to. You can just say, hi, it's nice seeing you. Have a good day. Hope the kids are well and keep it pushing. Yeah, they're not on the same coast anyway. But it was pretty funny. Stephen A. is talking. Sometimes you should just leave things, the way that they are, cemented in history. But, you never know. You never say never. We learned that from Brandy in '98. So you might have to spin the block. You never know.
You certainly might. But if you do spin the block, if there were any problems, make sure that you have checked those things. You got an emergency kit, an exit plan. Quickly.
And attorneys on speed dial.
Attorneys on speed dial. Okay. Well, I want to tee up what we're going to be talking about in hour 2 because we are almost wrapped with the first hour, if you can believe it, 1 hour in. 2 more hours to go of our scintillating conversation. Trent, you're going to stick around and talk more with us. So coming up in the second hour, we're going to talk about The Blackening. It's a new film that came out over the weekend. It has a Juneteenth theme. We'll get into what the film is about. We'll get into what the film is about. We'll get into a bit of an interview with some of the cast, and we'll also discuss, if you established any Juneteenth traditions over the holiday weekend, or if you think that there are any rules that we need to put in place going forward. That's one thing that we're going to talk about. And since we just got off of the Juneteenth holiday, and we know Juneteenth started in Texas, we're going to talk about something later in the show that impacts both California and Texas and kind of the switch in places that we are going through. So we have all those things to talk about coming up, more with Trent the Artist, more trending topics, more of your comments in YouTube, and more with me, RSVP with Jill Munroe, right here on KBLA Talk 1580.
I get familiar, this kind of love, big business, whole slab I kill for. Know that booty gon' do what it wants to. Can't hit it one time, possible. I know you see this red on me. Now come and get hot, 20, 40, 80 off the trap. Hit it with the rap, put it on the map. We'll be right back. Call me when you wanna get hot, 20 man Montana with the racks. I be P on my bag, double G's on the dash. Baby, I'm bad.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network.
I'm very proud of my son.